Okay, the box and whisker plot shows information about the height in feet of waves measured at a beach on a particular day. It says then about what fraction of the waves measured were less than 6 feet. Well, if we look at where 6 feet is on our scale, okay, there's 6 feet. So if I sort of like draw a little arrow up just to emphasize where we are, okay, so where is the 6 feet? That points to the lower quartile, doesn't it? Okay, that actually is the lower quartile for the box and whisker diagram. Okay, so lower quartile, remember, represents 25% of the data. Okay, so we've got 25% up to 6 feet, basically, up to the lower quartile. But when it says what fraction, well, of course, then we need to write that as a fraction, and 25% is a quarter. Okay, so a quarter of the data is less than 6 feet, which takes us to the lower quarter. Circle either true or false for each of the following statements. Okay, so the smallest wave measured was 5 feet. Well, I agree. True, okay, because if we look here, the smallest, right, is the one at the end of the whisker here, 5 feet, yeah? So it's true. The range of heights of the waves measured was 6.5 feet. So the range, and it's just talking about the range, and we're not talking about the interquartile range, just talking about the range here. Well, we've got to do the highest, take away the lowest. So what is the highest? Well, the highest is something like 13.5, I'd say, roughly, yeah? It probably is 13.5. Take away the lowest, which is 5. So if you do that, 13.5 take away 5, that comes out to be 8.5. So that's clearly false, because they say 6.5. Approximately a half of the waves measured were more than 9.5 feet. So when they mention the word half, we should be thinking about median, okay? And the median, of course, is where that middle line is there. Okay, so if I try and line that up, with that there, yeah, 9.5 feet. Half of the waves measured were more than 9.5 feet, indeed, and then the other half were less than 9.5 feet, so that's true. Oh, I circled the wrong one, look. So I'll circle that one there, right? Hopefully that is true now. If not, I'll have to cross it out, but these things happen. So then it says approximately a quarter of the waves measured were between 6 feet and 9.5 feet. So 6 feet and 9.5 feet are those two measurements there, okay, between these here. And it's saying approximately a quarter of the waves. Well, thankfully, right, I think that is true, yeah, okay. So I circled it in advance by mistake, but actually the answer is true. Had I done that by mistake, you could have just crossed it out, okay. If it was false, you could cross it out and circle false. But it is true, because a quarter of the waves measured between 6 feet and 9.5 feet. Well, yeah, because that represents 25%, doesn't it? Remember, 25% of the data is there, which takes us up to the lower quartile, and then 25% from the lower quartile to the median, and then 25% from the median to the upper quartile, and then from the upper quartile then to the highest value is another 25%. So yeah, indeed, that's got to be true. And then the biggest wave measured was 12.25 feet. Well, the biggest wave is going to be there, isn't it? Okay, which is not, isn't it? It's 13.5 feet. So that's false. Okay.